Welcome back, everyone. The Social Security Administration doesn't treat all of us identically. Based on your birth year, your actual full retirement age shifts, the strategies available to you change, and the specific errors that could slash your monthly payments forever are completely different. And right now, in 2026, folks in all these age brackets are either getting smaller checks than they deserve or are on the verge of making an irreversible choice. Why? Because no one took the time to map out the exact guidelines for their unique situation. Today, I am going to do just that. Find your birth year in this guide, pay close attention to the rules that affect you, and by the end of this presentation, you will know precisely what to look out for and how to fix it. Before we dive into the specific groups, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that now and hit the notification bell. Here is why it really makes a difference. Social Security regulations shift all the time, whether it's claiming ages, income limits, Medicare costs, or overpayment rules. When these updates happen, the government isn't going to mail you a personalized letter explaining it. They just alter the guidelines and assume you are keeping up. My job here is to track those updates, translate what they mean for your wallet, and deliver that knowledge to you before time runs out and costly errors are locked in. Every single age bracket I am discussing today faces unique challenges in 2026 that impact them directly. My subscribers catch these details in advance. Those who don't subscribe usually realize it too late, after they've made the wrong filing choice, missed a vital deadline, or lost out on thousands. So, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and let's get started. Let's begin with Group 1, those born between 1943 and 1954. You are currently between 72 and 83 years old. You have likely been collecting Social Security for several years. Your full retirement age was 66, and many folks in this bracket figure there is nothing left to review, but that assumption is draining money from some of your pockets every single month. The very first item this group must verify is if they are actually receiving the highest possible payout. A huge portion of surviving spouses in this age bracket are getting their own personal retirement benefits, even though they could be collecting a much larger check based on their deceased partner's work history or the other way around. A survivor's benefit for a widow or widower can equal up to 100% of what the late spouse collected. Often that amount is substantially bigger than what the surviving partner receives on their own work record. If you lost your spouse and haven't explicitly requested the agency to run the numbers on both records and switch you to the higher payout, there is a massive chance you have been leaving money on the table for years. Call the agency at 1-800-7721-213 and ask them to pull both amounts so you can compare them side by side. The second major item for this bracket deals with Medicare, specifically the IRMAA extra charges. If you had a spike in income in recent years because you sold a house, converted a Roth account, or had some other one-time financial windfall, Medicare might still be hitting you with extra fees based on that old money. These IRMAA fees can add anywhere from $70 to nearly $500 to your regular Part B bill every single month. There is an appeal form called ssa.gov, and it is designed exactly for people whose earnings have dropped because of a major life change. If your Medicare Part B premium is currently over $185 a month right now, it is absolutely worth looking into why. Moving on to Group 2, those born between 1955 and 1959. You are currently between 67 and 71 years old. This is an incredibly critical bracket in 2026 because the guidelines shift with every single birth year in this range, and many folks don't know their exact target number. Here's the full retirement age breakdown for this tier. If you were born in 1955, your age is 66 years and 2 months. For 1956, it is 66 years and 4 months. If you were born in 1957, it's 66 years and 6 months. For 1958, it is 66 years and 8 months. And for 1959, your specific target is 66 years and 10 months. That is your actual milestone, not a flat 66 or 67, but your precise month and year. Why does this matter so much today? Because people in this group are actively finalizing or have recently made their filing choices, and the financial outcome is permanent. If you filed early at 62, but your full retirement age was 66 and 6 months, meaning you were born in 1957, your lifetime check was reduced by about 25.8%. On a standard $2,000 benefit, that means losing $516 every single month. Over a 20-year span, that adds up to a cumulative loss of $123,000. The government isn't going to warn you before you apply. They just process the paperwork. On the flip side, if you are in this bracket and haven't claimed yet, waiting past your full retirement age earns you an extra 0.2% every single month you delay. That scales up to roughly 8% per year. Between your baseline age and age 70, you can increase your monthly check by 24% to 32% for life, depending on your exact birth year. On that same $2,000 baseline, that means up to $640 more every month forever. Also, if you are currently working and collecting benefits before reaching full retirement age, you must watch the earnings cap. In 2026, if you earn more than $23,400 in a year, the agency holds back $1 for every $2 you earn over that limit. That money isn't gone forever. It is added back to your record to boost your monthly amount once you hit full retirement age. But if you aren't aware of this rule, that sudden deduction can make it feel like your check just shrank without any explanation. Now for Group 3, those born between 1960 and 1965, you are currently between 61 and 66 years old. For everyone in this category, your full retirement age is exactly 67. Right now, the most vital thing to grasp is what happens if you file before that milestone. Launching benefits at 62 slashes your monthly check by 30% permanently. On a $2,000 benefit, that means $600 less every single month for the rest of your life. Over a 20-year retirement, that translates to $144,000 in total losses compared to waiting until 67. The agency will process that early application without flashing a warning. They will just ask if you understand that your benefit is being reduced, you say yes, and that lower number becomes your permanent reality. There is also a unique option most people in this bracket completely miss. If you apply after hitting your full retirement age of 67, you can request up to 6 months of retroactive back payments. They will pay you a lump sum as if you had filed half a year earlier. On a $2,000 monthly benefit, that is a cash infusion of up to $12,000 with your first check. The trade-off is a slightly lower ongoing monthly check since your official start date shifts back. The option exists, yet almost no one asks about it. For those still 5 or 6 years away from claiming, the absolute most critical task right now is verifying your employment record. Go to ssa.gov, set up an account if you haven't already, and open your statement. Cross-reference the listed earnings for every year against your own files. Just one incorrect year, a business that submitted the wrong payroll data in 1995, an unrecorded freelance year, or a job that closed down without transferring files, can shrink your monthly payout by about $100. Catch it now, while you still have the runway to correct it, rather than discovering it after you have already filed. Next is Group 4, born in 1966 or later. You are 60 or younger. You aren't close to collecting Social Security yet, which is exactly why this matters so much. Your window to repair mistakes before they cost you real money is wide open, but it won't stay open forever. Your full retirement age is 67. Filing at 62 means a permanent 30% reduction, while holding off until 70 secures up to 24% more than your base benefit for life. Those benchmarks are fixed. What isn't fixed is the accuracy of your earnings history. The government has been logging your payroll data since your very first job. That data came from your employers, leaving room for errors every single year. A typo-ridden submission, a missed year, or self-employment that wasn't reported properly can hurt your future payout. Each uncorrected error reduces your future check by roughly $100 per missed year. If you worked during the 1980s and 1990s, the height of manual payroll processing, there is a genuine chance your record holds at least one error. The fix is straightforward, but it requires paperwork, and old documentation vanishes the longer you wait. W-2s, old tax returns, and pay stubs are far easier to find today than they will be in 15 or 20 years. Log into ssa.gov, open your statement, and check the listed earnings against whatever records you have. If something is off, submit a correction request with your supporting proof. The agency will update your record for free while you still have the paperwork in hand. Let's wrap things up with a quick recap for each bracket. For anyone born between 1943 and 1954, double-check that you are drawing from the most profitable record, particularly if you have lost a partner. Also, look into whether Medicare is hitting you with an unfair IRMAA premium hike, because you have every right to challenge it if your income dropped. If your birth year falls between 1955 and 1959, lock down your exact milestone month, recognize the lifelong financial haircut of taking benefits early, And make sure you completely grasp the income cap rules if you plan to keep working before hitting that target age. For the 1960 to 1965 group, calculate exactly what a permanent 30% reduction looks like in actual dollars before pulling the trigger, and explore whether the 6-month retroactive back payment choice makes sense for your personal situation. Finally, if you were born in 1966 or afterward, log on to ssa.gov right away to audit your annual income history year by year, while the opportunity to amend employer mistakes costs absolutely nothing. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, pass this video along to anyone you know in these age groups, and I will catch you in the next one.